Steve Huff. Who's Steve Huff? Let's look him up. Why doesn't this dude just have a fucking wiki article?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Google! Most witches and most paranormal activists do not advertise themselves this much to prove that they are real. They don't need to. Their proof already shows itself. And this is the kind of stuff that I don't like. Now, that's why I'm challenging you. Because I don't believe it because of these things. Go in with
Arthur
an open mind,
Angie.
and that's how we'll do it.
Angie.
I am Angie, okay?
This has gone extremely off the rails. Hello, theologists, sisters, and misters.
Welcome to the Coven.
Okay, it is everybody's favorite time, I hope. r/paranormal.
Spooky time!
Spooky time! r/paranormal, guys. I think you like this stuff. Right?
I like this stuff.
It is fun. So same as always, I pulled a couple stories from the r/paranormal subreddit, and we're going to read through them, give our opinion, maybe try to debunk them, and then we're going to rate them.
6 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Not based off my own personal self.
No, for like the millionth time. It's not how spooky we think it is. It's how paranormal we think it is.
I'm sorry. I screwed up the one time.
It's adorable. Don't worry about it. You're fine. All right. And again, all of the stories that we're going to read today can be found linked in our description below. And if you're on a different platform, you can view our YouTube if you would like to check that out. All credit to the original posters. We're just here to react.
Support our reactions on Patreon.
Patreon.com/Strange Beliefs Podcast. Maybe if I say it enough, people actually do it.
Just repeat it over and over and over and over again.
All right, let's move on. Oh, that is a weird username. Wait. Creaming Scow? Creaming's Cow? Why are you creaming a cow? This is my user, Creaming's Cow. I hate that so much.
I'm sure you're a lovely person. I'm sorry for my friend here.
They write, I can't explain what I went through when babysitting. I was babysitting one night for a family friend about 4 years ago. I had put the kids to bed and crashed on the couch while waiting for my mom and the friend to get back from a night out. Randomly, I woke up and just remember being very confused about why I was even awake. That was until I heard the front door close. A key thing to note here is the fact that the only sound was the door closing. There was no sound of it being locked, and this lock was very loud. I assumed it was my mom and her friend coming back, so I sat up preparing to leave. However, I quickly noticed the lack of their voices. They are never quiet after a night out, especially because the friend always has had some drinks. And also noticed that there was only one set of footsteps. For a moment, I considered the possibility of it being the friend's husband coming home to grab something. He is a firefighter and was at the station for one of his 24-hour shifts. I can hear the person walking around the front room, then going to the table and in there shuffling through papers as if frantically was searching for something. The more I listened, though, the more it just didn't feel right. I pretty quickly dropped the idea of it being the husband and jumped to the idea that it was an intruder. Being around 15 at the time, I was in no way brave enough to confront any intruder that broke into the house. I managed to scoot along the wall leading to the front room before becoming completely paralyzed by fear. I ended up promising myself I'd keep my presence hidden until the person walked upstairs to the kids or back towards me. I could hear them pacing around a lot, papers and items being shuffled through. Eventually, I heard the footsteps start to come down the hall before turning into the bathroom, which was before they could reach me or the stairs. Only seconds after the footsteps walked into the bathroom, I heard the front door unlocked. This ties back to the beginning because it really stuck out that the door was never locked, and I can remember every single sound from the second I woke up. Immediately, I heard my mom and the friend talking loudly. The part of me was relieved, while the other part of me prepared to hear them screaming upon finding an intruder in the bathroom that is too small to hide in. Shockingly, they just walked straight past it, and my mom told me to get my stuff so we can go home. I was still listening the entire time, and the bathroom door never closed, and no further footsteps were heard. As I finally walked down the hall to the door, I scanned the bathroom. The door was wide open, the window was shut, and too small to fit anyone but kids through, and there was nobody crouched in the darkness. There was absolutely nothing off about the house, no windows open in any of the first floor, and nobody left between my mom coming back and us leaving. Nothing. I am a skeptic. I like to think that this may have been an intruder, but I cannot think of any logical way they could have hid in the short minute it took for me to walk. Nor did they have an escape route. The friend never found an intruder or noticed any missing items. Nothing makes sense. All I know is that this night is vividly ingrained in my mind, too vividly to be a dream, and I still get that feeling of something not being right when I think about it. So, what do you think?
For this one, I don't want to sit down and make assumptions, but usually loud footsteps, male.
Mm hmm.
Women tend to make quieter footsteps.
Mm hmm.
I'm not entirely sure what the science behind that is, but that is one
I
fact that
think
I
it's
have
more of a
noticed.
psychological thing that like women have always been told to like make their presence less known and try to be like small in the room and guys can like man spread and shit.
Look, spreading is valid, and I can give you science behind that too. Fuck you. But
Hey, I'm not saying man spreading is invalid. I have a boyfriend. I understand. What I'm saying is that I think the reason why guys tend to have louder footsteps is because that's just how society lets guys be. They're not looked down upon for, acting confident and loudly, Whereas like girls are tend to
shit,
be
maybe I
like,
should start stomping my feet.
maybe you should.
Maybe I'm too feminine.
You should really do something about that.
I'm just really, really gay.
That feel when you're so gay that your footsteps are light.
Look, I don't need people knowing that I'm in their space until they like have a heart attack. That's how you get away with
So,
murder, and that's how these things happen.
what I like about this person's story is that they do attack it from, a skeptic perspective. The first thing that they thought of wasn't ghost, maybe it was the friend's husband.
But then the fact that they were like frantically trying to go through papers and pacing, it seems like even if it was an intruder, obviously it wasn't the friend's husband because they would know where everything is, and also there was nobody there. If there was an intruder though, they wouldn't be going through papers and pacing. They would be quickly going through things and wiping the whole house of whatever the heck they needed to
Yeah,
wipe it of.
papers aren't valuable.
No, unless it's a
Um,
document that they're
of some
specifically
sort,
looking
but
for framing. But they didn't leave through that window. That window was shut.
and like another thing is I don't think they mentioned whether or not the window was locked, but I'm assuming by saying that the window was shut, I think that means that the window was locked. It's not like you can really lock a window from the outside.
I would assume that the window is locked. That I'm just going to make the assumption that window is locked.
There is the possibility that maybe because they weren't necessarily looking at where this possible intruder was, that maybe they think that the intruder went into the bathroom, but it's possible that's maybe they didn't. Um,
Maybe, but the bathroom door was open.
I mean, I keep doors open
Wow,
sometimes.
I don't.
Sometimes you just keep a door open.
Well, you know that
I'm
I
the
don't
kind of
do that.
person that leaves cabinets open. I know it's awful. It's a habit.
Obviously, they were babysitting. They don't know the full extent of any sort of paranormal activity that may have gone on. They probably didn't ask that to the friend. That
Oh
would
yeah,
sound
no.
insane.
Especially since this person is a skeptic, that would be the last thing they would think to ask. Hey, has there ever been any ghosts in this house?
Has anyone ever died here, maybe, recently?
Like, what? As a skeptic, that's a weird ass question to ask. You don't ask that.
As
Um,
a witch, I've asked many questions about the previous tenant of my apartment who died.
I mean, as the tenant, but like this is the kid of the friend's. Wait, kid of the friend's mom. Yeah, kid
Yes,
of the friend's mom. Yeah, yeah. I could logic. So I
but
mean,
no,
like, it,
I live here. They don't live where they're babysitting, obviously.
So this was like the part that first got me is that they heard the door close. They didn't hear the door open, they didn't hear the door lock, but when their mom and their mom's friend came back, they
They
did
had
hear
the
the
door
door lock.
unlocked.
Yeah, unlock and then lock again.
Hmm. But
So,
what's even weirder is the fact that I would initially write this off as paranoia from just waking up. However, It sounds like they spent a solid amount of time listening to the footsteps, listening to the pacing
Mm-hmm.
of the footsteps, listening to the papers, listening to the person go towards that door and towards them, I assume, but not close enough for them to need to act on anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's really freaky. I can't pin it as anything other than maybe a spirit.
The only other thing I can think of is an auditory hallucination. They didn't see anything. They only heard sounds.
But auditory hallucinations don't last that long.
Unless if they have an underlying psychological problem that they
I
don't
feel
know
like they
about.
would fucking like.
They'd probably
I
know at
feel like
this
this would have,
point.
yeah. If you're at the point of babysitting and you have this sort of underlying problem and you have not gone to seek help for any of this,
Especially since they said that this was like 4 years ago. So if they had like consistent auditory hallucinations, they would know of it. It makes me think about what kind of a ghost or an entity would do such a thing. Is it, the ghost of someone who previously lived there? I mean, it sounds to the sound of like opening a door and footsteps and shuffling through papers. Like, to me, that doesn't sound like just a haunting. It
mhm,
sounds like maybe like a daily activity or something of someone who had used to live there. And like it's
yeah,
that
because you
residual
walk
energy.
in, you shuffle through the
You go to
papers,
the bathroom,
pace a
you
little
know.
bit. Maybe you were reading a paper and then you just go to the bathroom,
So I mean,
daily life things. But that's too much.
but like also as a skeptic, right? So we talk about, as a skeptic, you're often closed off to this kind of stuff and like it's not drawn to you as much. And usually people that have paranormal experiences seem to have at least more than one. So that's the only thing that
He hasn't
feels
mentioned more than one
so
either.
that's the only thing that seems off to me if all of that is true, which obviously is all just conjecture and assumption. But
It's
it's
too
that
well written. There's too much there's too much detail written in here for it to be false to
But
me.
what I'm saying is why them? Because so let's go with the theory that this is the residual spirit of someone who, maybe lived in that house and had passed. Why like do you think that like this is something that occurs every so often strongly enough in this house and like the mom's friend never just mentioned it because like maybe she's heard it before in the past because if a
Maybe
skeptic
it
could pick up on this, you would
maybe
think
it
that that would
spooked her
have to
at
be
one
a
point and now it's just a usual thing. Maybe she doesn't even hear it. Maybe she's not.
'cause it just makes me wonder why this person? Why did it show itself to this person?
Maybe not intentionally.
I guess so. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I understand how this shit works.
So how many
Uh,
spooks?
this one I'm gonna give an 8.
Yeah. I gave it 6 to 8, leaning more towards 8, so I'm gonna say an 8 spooks out of 10.
I love how I'm like, "I'm gonna give it an 8." You're like, well, I was thinking like a 5.75, but, like, maybe leaning towards, like, a 7.13."
I said 6 or 8 basically, and I'm gonna choose 8. I don't really have a solid answer. Like my notes have like question marks of ghost, residual spirit. No answer.
I love how you're just like, I need to take notes during this, which makes sense because I mean, like, I'm looking at it and rereading it.
I
You're just
don't
like,
have
look,
the brain cell.
I took the brain cell. Or
Everyone
maybe it
takes it
was
from
a
me.
ghost. The
Damn it,
ghost
ghost! I
took
need
the
the brain
brain
cell.
cell. Then you hear a ghost say, Mom said it's my turn to use the brain cell.
Fucking hell.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Depends. Do I get the brain cell back, Mr. Ghost?
No.
Fuck. Okay, let's go.
Fuck. Well, this one is by user Josie Carl. They write channeling spirits through music and musical instruments. I've been extremely into the paranormal. I've been on ghost hunts and have had a few experiences in my life. After religiously watching Steve Huff for a few years, I decided to give talking to spirits a go, even if it made me look a little crazy, and knowing the dangers and what could happen. On a whim, I called out, asking them to channel themselves through me and to use my energy, and I thanked them, told them I appreciate their presence. As soon as I mentioned Steve Huff, my entire body went extremely warm, like I was enveloped in the most wonderful hug. I wouldn't consider myself overly religious. I have a crucifix on the wall, always a big Ethiopian cross around my neck, and a Maori fishhook necklace from Kiwi relatives, all of which hold some spiritual chakra. After I started playing the guitar, it just felt different. I can't explain how much more clarity I had with the instrument. I felt anger, happiness, I felt emotion that I'd never experienced before. I stopped playing after a while, and I kindly told whatever it was to go back to where they came, and I thanked them profusely. After a few minutes after that, I felt extremely drained of energy. And that's it.
I think you've watched this person's content too much, and this is just hallucinatory.
Wow, that is a strong stance. I tell me why.
Because, whilst being not really religious, but wanting to get into the supernatural and such, and watching one, I assume, spiritual person, supernatural person. I don't know this person's content. I don't watch it.
They sound like a ghost hunter.
Yeah, it sounds like a ghost hunter type deal. So, whilst you've been very into it lately, like how Emma seems to default to Ghost a lot because she watches a lot of ghost stuff
Does
on
it sound like I have
YouTube.
a repertoire of paranormal entities?
No, it sounds like you have a repertoire of sitting down and going, "It's a ghost, it's a ghost, it's a ghost, it's a
That's
ghost."
literally the opposite of a repertoire.
Yeah,
I have a word.
you have a
I have
word.
a vocab word.
And what is your vocab word of the day?
My vocab word of the day is dummy.
Okay, dummy thick ghost. Here we go. Uh, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that spirits can channel
Possess.
themselves very well through people, if at all. Musical instruments, maybe, but you would have described not your whole body going warm, but it's starting from one area. And spirits tend to not go warm, they tend to go cold. So it wouldn't be a
Mm.
spirit. I think this is a hallucinatory issue and that you've been watching too much of the Ghost Hunters content. Assuming they're a ghost hunter, I don't watch their content at all. I don't even know who this
Uh,
person is.
Steve Huff. Who's Steve Huff? Let's look him up.
Google!
Steve Huff. Who are you?
Sorry, I've never heard of you, Steve Huff. Like that I'm just blindly calling bullshit.
Yeah, a little bit. Here, Steve Huff has a Twitter at Steve Huff.
At Steve Huff, who are you?
They are a deputy digital editor, a writer, a journalist, and did TV and stuff. Don't hunt ghosts. Don't run Reddit. That guy is Huff Man. Oh, this is a wait. Does this person get mixed up with the other? Wait a second.
Okay, that's even weirder.
Steve Huffman. Steve Huffman.
Maybe they forgot the man. Is he not manly enough?
Wait, no, this. Wait a second. Oh, this is so weird. No, so Steve Huffman is the co founder and CEO of Reddit. I'm lost.
Okay, now we're even worse off than when we started.
Steve Huff, Ghost Hunter. Ah, Steve Huff Official.
Ah.
This is so weird. Steve Huff. Okay, I think we found him. I think we found him, guys. Who are you?
He was hard to hunt down.
Because of all the ghosts, he learned how to hide.
Is that what they teach us?
He has a YouTube.
That's not shocking.
Why doesn't this dude just have a fucking wiki article?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Okay, I think the spookiest pet is Steve Huffman Official.
Okay, yeah. All right, Huff Paranormal. He has 1.65 million subscribers. I've never heard of this dude.
Same?
Hey, Huff Paranormal, you wanna collab?
Jesus Christ.
Wait, about here. All right. Oh, I want you to react to this.
Oh
This is
boy.
the description of his YouTube channel. Uh, what you will find here is all 100% real spirit communication using devices I have created over the last 10 years. I have contacted loved ones for viewers and many celebrities such as Kobe Bryant. Wait, Kobe died. Wait, are you saying that you contacted Kobe after he died? My dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that
That's what
is what he's
they're
saying.
saying.
Oh my god, and many celebrities such as Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson, Tentacion, fucking I don't know, Juice World, Sushant, Rajput, and Freddie Mercury, and so many more. Hello, what I do is real. I have to stress it again, as many YouTube fake celebrity sessions for clout, views, and yes, income. I've had the longest running real spirit communication and spirit box video channel on YouTube with over 1.5 million subscribers. Our soul never dies, and I have over 1,200 videos to prove it. Even scientific proof can be found here, so sit back, relax, and enjoy some of my playlists featuring some miraculous and incredible proof of life after death, even full body apparition spirit photos. I burped from this bullshit. You will be amazed, your eyes will be opened, and you may even start to feel the presence of higher vibrational spirits, as that is what I focus on in my research. Love is the key. Holy shit, this dude sounds
Oh
like he's
my
in a cult.
god. So
This is not
not
where
to
I
be
thought this episode would go.
not to be a skeptic, but
Not,
to be
not
a
to be an
skeptic.
Emma.
But hey, buddy, if you ever want to collab, I'm gonna call out this whole ass Reddit. Prove to me with my spiritual experiences that your shit's real with the most recent ghost that I've encountered. That's
That
what
would
I want to
that's a
see.
is that a challenge? Are we
That is
challenging
absolutely a challenge.
at Huff Paranormal? That's a challenge, I think.
Prove something to me. Go on.
Oh, that this is not where I thought this episode would go, but I'm not upset. Let me just give my reaction real quick reading this about section. I will also preface this with saying I've never heard of Huff Paranormal. He obviously is very popular. I've never watched a single one of his videos as far as I know. I kind of want to after this to see what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, so I can't sit here and say every single one of his videos is fake because he sounds fake as fuck in this about. But what you will find here is all 100% real spirit communication. Like, it's just so cocky. It just makes me not want to believe.
You're overselling yourself.
That's it, really. That's what it is. So I mean, again, I don't want to say that he's lying because I mean, he very well could be convinced or maybe it is all 100% real, but it really does sound like bullshitting. But
Yeah,
I
it could
mean,
be real. He could be 100% convinced. It could be anything. But I want some proof on my end.
okay, question. Do you want to do an episode on Huff Paranormal where we both watch like a specific episode and just talk about it?
You know what? Sure, why not? We can have a Huff Paranormal episode.
Fuck it. I'm writing it down. This is so weird.
I don't believe in him, and the reasoning being, one, I've never freaking heard of him, and it's very obvious by the first things I'm saying when talking about
He has a
Josie's
store.
channeling ghosts through music.
Oh, he has a store. Oh, love is the key is like his whole thing. Oh, wait.
Oh god,
Oh
monetization.
no. Oh no. Oh no. What is that fucking TikTok? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, 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 no.
This fucking okay, again, this is not me shitting on anybody's religion,
And
but
I'm not
he
doing
sells
defamation in any way here, but
no,
like,
no. This is again,
I'm challenging you.
this is all for fun, but his merch literally has a fucking Bible quote on it.
Ew.
It's in quotes, love doesn't come from evil, and evil cannot create love. Steve 72118. Like the quote itself is why did you really have to add the fucking Bible verse? Okay, listen. All right, let me backtrack a little bit. You can be, Christian or Catholic or any religion and still believe in ghosts and paranormal. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is it's really fucking funny to see this dude selling Bible quotes on merch on his fucking YouTube store.
Oh Oh, my brain.
Oh, this is so fun. All right, how paranormal. Arthur challenges you. Prove something to
As
him.
as a witch, I just need to say, most witches and most paranormal activists do not advertise themselves this much to prove that they are real. They don't need to. Their proof already shows itself.
Like
They
the
don't need to
shit, like,
advertise. They don't need to monetize. They don't need to do any of this because it's true to them. It's true to the people that watch them. They don't need to do this. This is the definition of somebody who's trying to make money off of this. And this is the kind of stuff that I don't like. Now, that's why I'm challenging you, because I don't believe it because of these things. I've never seen a single ounce of your content, never heard of you, so we will have an episode about it. We'll react to it as best as we can, go
oh,
in with an
Arthur
open mind,
Angie.
and
Oh,
that's how we'll
Arthur
do it.
Angie.
I am Angie, okay? Thank you, Josie. You've ruined my whole night. No, I'm kidding with you.
No. All right,
I'm kidding with
all
you.
right. So now that we know who Steve Huff is, I am on your side with that. Thank you for watching a little bit too much Steve Huff. Because I'm not
How
gonna
many spooks out
lie.
of 10, honey?
Oh my god. Like at first, okay, before I looked up Steve Huff, I was gonna give this like a solid 4. My reasoning for that
Mm.
is, again, I've never experienced a supernatural experience as far as I know, any paranormal encounter. So I can't say like one way or another, like a warm hug versus a cold touch and which is more valid. I mean, everything I'm going off of is what other people have told me.
You can't see it,
So,
but I'm raising my hand and saying I have.
yes, but Arthur, as much as I love to believe you, and I do, I can't take it as fact.
No, you can't because it hasn't happened to you.
So that's why I was going to give this like a 4 because I mean, I agree. It does seem like they've just read way into this. Like, as someone who plays instruments, I mean, there are some times where I'll like sit down and like play something out of nowhere and just like maybe I'm just going through something without knowing it and like I feel really drained after I finish playing. Like, and I mean, like, that plus the power of suggestion with, like, I don't know, like, watching all of this, like, watching this kind of content and, like, putting yourself in the situation of, like, okay, you know what this is like? This is like me going and, like, and I spoke about this on a previous episode, but, like, this is me going and, like, like, trying to cast a spell and being like, "Oh, but, like, the light flickered 5 times, and that means I'm now a witch," like, and now I'm
If
reading
the light
into
flickers 5 times, you need to change the light bulb.
I was talking about a candle. I should have
If
said
your candle
flames.
is flickering, then
That
you've
was
got a
my
problem with the candle.
You need to change your candle.
Change your candles.
Oh my god. Alright, alright, alright. This has gone extremely off the rails.
Good, that's what our content is.
Chaotic.
How many spooks out of 10?
Now I have to give it, like, a -5.
That's worse than me. I gave it a 0 because I didn't think negatives were valid.
I mean,
Well,
they're
shit.
not, but Steve Huff, I mean, my whole life is turned upside down
By Steve Huff.
by Steve Huff. Steve Huff has changed my perspective, Arthur.
I think you need to buy some of that Bible merch.
Imagine your local Jew fucking repping Bible. God, again, like the quote itself is fine. You didn't need to add the fucking Bible verse. It's just so tacky. Maybe that's just me. It's so tacky though, but think about all the fucking like 35-year-old moms that own that tank top.
Ew. They own tank tops? They're for 35-year-old moms.
35-year-old moms can wear tank tops. Oh my god, Arthur. What they can't do is wear tank tops with Bible verses.
I suppose. Sure.
They
Yeah,
wear it
you know
to
what? Wherever you want, but not that. Not that
Or
one.
just like you just like walk into like the fucking local Planet Fitness and just see like some 35-year-old lady with a fucking Bible verse tank top.
I'm like, hey, Love the bod, love what you're doing, love the exercise, hate the tank top.
Hate the tank.
Ditch that
Girl,
shit.
girl, you're so much better than that tank top.
Girl, that tank top doesn't
I
deserve you.
support the separation of merch and religion. Church and merch. Church and merch. Wait.
Government, please help us separate church and merch.
I support the separation of church and merch. That feel when you church and dies. I have to look up if
And that's
church and
so
dice.
tacky, but
Church,
church
and dice. I have to know.
Made a new word.
Oh my god, has no one claimed this term? Arthur.
No.
Arthur.
I know. No.
Arthur.
No.
Arthur, you know what we must do.
Get out of the podcast.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking cry.
Leave.
Someone's gonna take our idea now.
Fucking throw it on a shirt and sell it on Etsy then.
The merchant
or Redbubble or something.
All right. Let's bring it back in so we can wrap up. We have one more story. Hopefully, it doesn't include Steve Huff.
I'm not. No.
Oh my god. All right. This is by user Kibu Fox. See, that's a cute name. I can get behind that username. They write strange experiences over the past few days. Let me preface this by saying I have a great deal of experience both in the paranormal investigative side of things and with the paranormal itself. I also have something of a sense of spirit and practice a form of magic that allows me to better contact them and figure out what binds them to a location. This isn't a question of is this paranormal in nature, but more a question of something strange going on that even I, in my experience, can't quite sort out, and figured I would put this in the community to discuss. For the past week or so, I have noticed a figure walking out of the hallway into the kitchen. For context, it's a one-bedroom apartment. The halls open into a small foyer, which you have the kitchen on one side and a small living room with a couch and table. The table being where my laptop is now. Sitting at the table, you can see the door to the outside, out of the corner of your eye. There are no windows on that wall, nor in the door itself. The figure I see tends to be that of a young girl with long black hair, and is the best I can tell, she is wearing a dark top and skirt. She always seems to be in a hurry, though a couple of times it seems as though she was flat out running. She makes no sound. It's just catching the movement out of the corner of my eye several times. I haven't seen her per se, but have had the distinct feeling that someone has gone into the kitchen, but there was no one there. That in itself is curious enough, but I have performed a number of cleansing spells and rituals of protection, so that should prevent any spirit from crossing the border. What's more, in the time I have been here, close to 2 years, there have been no experiences of any kind. This has left me stumped. Any thoughts on what could be causing it? They say that they noticed a figure walking out of the hallway into the kitchen, but then they say that they never quite saw her. So like that's what is confusing me. The figure I see
They never saw
tends
her
to be
head
a young
on.
I mean, I guess so.
They see her out of the corner of their eye.
I mean, okay, that in itself, seeing a spirit out of the corner of your eye, is that valid enough? As someone who has seen ghosts, is that valid enough?
Yes, because that's how shadow people appear.
Okay.
You see shadow people out of the corner of your eye. So if you see a ghost out of the corner of your eye who doesn't want to be seen, but that she's in a hurry to get to that kitchen for some reason, I would investigate your kitchen and see if maybe there's something off about it. Maybe try to sense some spiritual energy there. I think she's just a ghost. I don't think she means any harm.
I mean, so again, this is like a small apartment. They were only there for 2 years. I mean, like, so as you said earlier, you asked about your apartment if because there was someone that had died there or someone that lived there previously and has since died. I mean, it's definitely possible that like either the building or that room could be, this girl could be attached to it in some way. Like you've only been there for 2 years, so it's not out of the question.
And I've been here for 1 year. I've never seen the spirit of the person who has been deceased. However, I have the feeling of their spirit being here, especially in a specific room and a specific spot. which I really should have shown you when you were here. Dang it, there's so much I should have done while you were here.
I'll be back.
Is that a threat?
I will say, someone in the comments, I just looked this up. Someone in the comments said stone tape theory. Have you heard of that?
Nope.
Let me read this to you. The stone tape theory is the speculation that ghosts and hauntings are analogous to tape recordings and that mental impressions during emotional or traumatic events can be projected in the form of energy, recorded onto rocks and other items, and then replayed under certain conditions.
That doesn't make any sense to me and just sounded like a mix of words. What?
Here, you know what I'll do for you? I'm gonna send this to you in the Discord. I'll just copy and paste. So you can
Okay,
read it.
copy pastas.
You know, when I was little, I thought copy pasta was literally referring to pasta.
Delicious.
I really liked pasta.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Except those who don't.
Fuck those people. Unless if you're gluten intolerant, then I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm not really fully grasping the stone tape theory.
Okay, so what I think it's saying, if I'm understanding this correctly, I'm picturing this like, you know, like movie or like film strips that you hold up to the light.
Yeah.
I'm imagining that that is being held up and that energy is shining through that and projecting it. That's what I'm picturing. I don't know if that's exactly.
Maybe? I don't know. Well, that aside, I'm just gonna give this a 2 spooks out of 10. It seems like just a general sort of spontaneous haunting of somebody who may have been a previous resident.
Arthur,
Hmm?
are you rating this on how spooky you think it is or how paranormal you think it is?
How paranormal I think it is. I think it's moderately normalized at this point that a ghost would be in an apartment that you've only been in.
But Arthur, don't you think that like a ghost existing at all is extremely paranormal?
I don't know, I'm very desensitized.
Arthur. Okay, you know what? I'm amending.
It's not as
I am
paranormal.
I am amending the scale. 1 or 0 is that is not a ghost. 10 is that is definitely a ghost.
Fine, okay. I'll give it like an 8.
There it is.
It's a fucking ghost of some sort.
So you definitely believe that it is a ghost.
Yeah, I can't see it as anything but a ghost.
For me personally, seeing it out of the corner of your eye just delegitimizes it for me just a little bit, you know? I'll give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6.
All right.
I burped again. Why am I so burpy?
Because you're dying slowly.
Ugh, I think it's all that Steve Huff.
I don't think I can do another one of these sections of 4 tonight. I just
That's
my
fine.
brain is
This
melting.
went way longer than it should have.
My brain is melting, Emma.
That's, you know what? It's fine. Anyway.
I've huffed too much of Steve Huff.
Oh god, I've been huffing too much. All right, guys. This has been an interesting r/paranormal deep dive. If you guys want more, please again subscribe, like, comment, share, engage in some way. Otherwise, if you're on a different platform that is not YouTube, get on YouTube. You can listen to podcasts on YouTube. You know that, right?
And Steve Huff, get your ass over here.
Steve Huff, we're
Fight
calling
me.
you out. We haven't seen any of your content, and we're calling you out.
Come fight me. 1v1 me, Steve.
Like, what's hilarious about this is, like, let's say that we're still doing this podcast, like, 3-4 years down the line. And, like, because, you know, like, we don't even have, like, 100 subscribers on YouTube yet. We're doing this purely for fun. Let's just say, like, what if we randomly get really popular and this specific clip gets dug up? We're, like, on episode 300.
And Steve Huff gets this fucking clip sent to them, like, hey, yo, you might want to check this out.
Yo, like, 4 years ago, these assholes called you out.
You gotta do something about that, Steve Huff.
Yeah, Steve Huff, you're gonna do something about it.
What are you gonna do, huh?
Come at me, Steve Huff. I have 85 subscribers. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, all 85 of us.
We're gonna I'm gonna team up Steve Huff, all 85 of us.
Oh my goodness. On
Okay,
that note.
it's late. I've been feeling dizzy all day. I feel like that has something to do with this. I'm
I
gonna go
feel
to bed.
I told you we could have recorded at a different date.
No, I think this was perfect.
No.
Oh, I can't wait to edit this hour-long episode. All right, guys. We
Signing off.
adore you. And remember, stay spooky.
Bye.